The Obama administration's widespread snooping activities in several arenas raising all kinds of alarms right now, and critics are paying special attention to the administration's snooping on reporters. The Justice Department secretly collecting email and phone records of our colleague James Rosen while investigating a news leak, telling a judge James might be a criminally liable co-conspirator. Attorney General Eric Holder now telling Congress he wants a better balance between national security and freedom of the press. Listen.
Last week, I convened the first in a series of meetings with representatives of news organizations, government agencies, and other groups to discuss the need to strike this important balance to ensure robust First Amendment protections and to foster a constructive dialogue. Now, I appreciate the opportunity to engage members of the media and national security professionals in this effort to improve our guidelines, policies, and processes, and to renew the important conversation that really is as old as the Republic itself about how to balance our security with our dearest civil liberties.
Let's bring in today's News Watch panel. Judith Miller is a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative reporter and author. Kirsten Power is a columnist for the Daily Beast. Both are Fox News contributors. Judy, what do you think about the Attorney General's remarks?
Well, I don't think they go far enough. They certainly don't answer the question of why he signed a warrant requesting James Rosen's information when he already had a lot of the information he needed to identify a leaker, and why that is not tantamount to criminalizing the news gathering process. He personally signed the warrant, and then he told the Congress that he would never think of actually prosecuting a reporter for violation of the Espionage Act. Now, either he's lied or he lied to the judge requesting the information, suggesting that that's just what he was going to do.
It seems, Kirsten, to be that black and white. Either he lied to Congress or he lied to the judge, didn't he?
I guess maybe Eric Holder would say that he was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to prosecute him or not. We're trying to get the information to decide whether or not we're going to prosecute him. But it doesn't change the fact that what he did was fundamentally wrong. And also, when you listen to him talking about the fact, oh, we need to revamp our guidelines. No, the guidelines actually are fine. He needs to follow the guidelines. So, informing, for example, the news organization ahead of time, which they keep insisting that they did, but they didn't. And so I think, and the most troubling thing to me is the fact that Holder had no remorse about this until he was caught. And, people who only have remorse when they're caught are people that you have to be very suspicious of.
And then you get to the revelation of this whole NSA thing. It's, the fact that they've been collecting all this data for years. Chris Stirewalt, in his online column today, said something like, the government's defense is, oh, don't worry about it. It's cool. We've been doing it forever.
Well, I think we have to draw a distinction here. I do not know enough about the kind of information that's been collected and how it's being collected and what's being done with it to have a conclusion about this at the moment. However, here again, we get into the trust us syndrome. I'm glad to see that the FISA court is actually approving these programs and is overseeing them. And all I can tell you, John, is that there's going to be one heck of a leak investigation into who gave the document describing the PRISM program, which is the internet gathering monitoring program, to Glenn Greenwald and the Washington Post, because that was a very serious national security leak. But now that it's occurred, I think we need to know more about those programs, because the congressmen who oversee them are divided about whether or not they're legal and appropriate.
Congressman James Sensenbrenner was on this morning on Fox saying, look, I wrote the Patriot Act law, but in his view, they're abusing the Patriot Act to make all of this happen.
I really don't see that. He's going to the FISA court. I frankly don't see the difference. I mean, Bush was doing it without the FISA court. Obama's doing it with the FISA court. Now suddenly Republicans are having a problem with what Obama's doing. I don't quite follow that. And I think that we do need more details. I didn't like today him saying, basically just trust us, it's no big deal. It's like, no, we need to know that you take seriously the possibility this could be abused.
Yeah, I come back to the point. This is the IRS, for instance, going to be enforcing Obamacare when all of the points of it are finally up and running. And this is the IRS that's spending $50 million on conferences and hiring, art.
But can I just say to your point about investigating the leak, the problem is that the only way we learn anything about this administration is through leaks. So, they should not prosecute this leak, in my opinion, because this is information that they should have given to us in the first place. And if they do, it's outrageous that every time we learn about anything important this government is doing, it's because somebody leaked it, and then they're going to prosecute them?
Judy's shaking her head, but if you want to hear what she thinks, you're going to have to catch more of this panel on Newswatch this weekend. Hold on to those thoughts, Judy. We'll cover the coverage of the week's top stories Saturday, 2:30 Eastern.